What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today we're back with more D&D lore. That's right, guys. We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and today we're going through level 6 all the way up to level 10 for the abilities, the cantrips, and the spells for Aelar Galanodel, my High Elf Warlock. So if you don't know who that is, I will be posting 2 videos at the end of this video, so you can click on those links to find out his backstory, as well as his spells, cantrips, and abilities from level 1 to 5. So for now, let's dive into this lore. So now that we know that Aelar is going to be focusing on kind of a defensive type of playstyle, where if he gets hit, you're going to take damage, or you're going to have some negative part for you doing damage to him. So his keep away playstyle will focus on fire spells, ice spells, and like demonic or vampiric abilities. So with that being said, we begin level 6 with the otherworldly patron, the Fiend, Dark One's Own Luck. And basically what this means is that when I have to make an ability check or a saving throw, I can add an extra D10 to that roll. So if I rolled really low and I really need to pass that save or something like that, boom, I could hopefully add a plus 10 to that roll in order to aid me in that type of occurrence. Really good ability here. It's almost like having inspiration, but not quite. But it's still really good. And then moving on to the spells for level 6, I have gone and added Fly. Flying is going to be really beneficial in D&D, no matter who you are. If you're a character that already has wings, such as an Aarakocra, you're already starting off your campaign on a really good note. So with that, unfortunately, I had to wait all the way till level 6 to get that ability, but it's a really good ability, and it still kind of fits in with the whole vampire, demon kind of theme that I'm going with. With level 7, that brings us to yet another Eldritch invocation, and the one that I chose was Eldritch Smite. I believe this is in Xanathars, and basically what it means is that when I hit a creature with my packed weapon, I can use a spell slot to deal an extra D8 force damage equal to 1 plus the level of the spell slot used. So potentially I can do some big damage, where if they just need a little bit over, let's say they're not 100% dead, but they'll be dead in like a hit or two, I can go ahead and use that, and my packed weapon, I don't know, gives off like a dark aura or something along those lines to just take them down. Really cool, awesome effect. And also, if they're a huge target or like a smaller target, I could also knock them prone, which depending on the situation could be good or bad. I went ahead and chose Fire Shield for the level 7 spell, one for 2 reasons. It's pretty good. It also plays with the whole if you damage me, you take damage, and with this I can also make it give off a Warm Shield, which gives me resistance to cold damage, or a Chill Shield, which gives me resistance to fire damage. So resistance is really good, especially depending on what I'm fighting. So with that, I bring in the 2 elements of fire and ice with my character, with one awesome keep away ability. With the 8th level, I went with Blight. A necromantic energy in the form of demonic claws wash over a creature of my choice within range, and from there on, these tendrils of darkness drain any moisture and vitality from them. This is a very thematic, dark, evil ability, and it's really good, especially if I'm going up against like vines or any type of plant life, because it's really powerful against them. However, on the downside, it doesn't have any effect against undead creatures or constructs, and I believe vampires are considered undead, so that kind of sucks against them, but it's pretty good against almost everything else. With level 9, once again the Eldritch Invocation comes up, and I chose Improved Pack Weapon. Basically what this means is that I can now use my blade, or my Pact of the Blade weapon, as a spellcasting focus for my spells, which is really good. And on top of this, he has a +1 bonus to my attacks and damage rolls. So just a better overall. It's like a little boost, a little tune-up, if you will. Next up for the spells, Vampiric Touch. I was waiting for this one, however I didn't know when would be the right time to get it, and I decided, level 9 should be alright. So basically what this means is that my Shadow Wreathed hand can now siphon a creature's vitality. Anytime I hit them with this attack, I do 3d6 necrotic damage, and I also regain half of the damage that I dealt to them back to me, which is really good because if I use it with a higher spell slot, the damage increases for 1d6, meaning the health that I'll be regaining also increases. And then finally, for the 10th level, I gain Fiendish Resilience from my Otherworldly Patron. So not only do I have resilience for certain damage types when I use the previous spell, but I also can do resistance to any type of damage. However, this resistance is only for one item, and it doesn't count if it's a magical weapon or a silver weapon, but still overall pretty good. And for the cantrip, I went with a really old school cantrip, none other than Chill Touch. It fits the theme, and it's a pretty good ranged attack that I could use. However, I feel like 1d8 necrotic damage isn't all that, especially since Eldritch Blast does 1d10. So those were the spells that I chose to go with from level 5, or from level 6, all the way to level 10. And if you want to look into my previous video, I go from level 1 all the way to this. So again, let me know what you guys thought about this, and let me know what direction I should go from level 11 to level 20. And with that being said, that's all I got for today. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you then.